And back for more on the big screen. Nancy Grace, my friend,
Hello.
my colleague. How are you? Nancy,
I
want to read a tweet from Amanda first, and then I want to talk about something. So she said, okay, been a fan of Nancy for a long time, faithfully watching every day. You're wrong on this one, Nancy. It was so many medical benefits for you to be so against it. Go 2 Chainz. Nancy, are you getting a lot of backlash from
Well, first of all, to Frank, who wrote, thank you, Frank, for watching. I appreciate that.
It was actually Amanda.
If you'll look back on what you just played about 50 seconds ago.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Frank wrote in, and then you played Dr. Drew, and then you played Amanda. Now, Amanda, sadly, is referring to medical marijuana, for which I'm in favor. So that's what I have to say to Amanda. She should probably put down a doobie and listen more carefully to the argument, and maybe she could understand it. As to Dr. Drew, I've never heard anyone use the word illegalize. Okay, if you want to illegalize it, then okay. So I'm going to have to look that up in my law books. But I would ask Dr. Drew, okay, you want the people to vote for what's legal and not. Well, guess what? The people have voted that it is illegal. So the people have already spoken, Dr. Drew. Now, let's extend that thinking. I mean, let's just think about this rationally. And you can show all the pot plants you want to, dear, and you can show everything you want to, but those little pictures you're showing are not changing my mind. Let's talk about the reality. Follow through Drew's argument. Let's do what the people want. Okay. Should we legalize cocaine? Because some of the people want that. What about heroin? What about synthetic drugs? What about prostitution? Why don't we just go ahead and legalize breaking and entering and carjacking? What's wrong with that?
Nancy, I mean, that's a little, you're going off the rails a little bit with breaking and entering and carjacking.
No, you're going off the rail.
Well, let's
because when you say, let's do it because the people want it, well, the people have already spoken, and they have agreed through the voice of Congresses, assemblies, legislatures all over this country that it's illegal.
Okay, but what about the fact that people say it's a gateway drug? You talked about this on your show the other night. You think marijuana is a gateway drug to a lot of other drugs out there, but there are a lot of people out there. Amy posted this on our Facebook page. Love you, Nancy Grace. Don't worry about them haters. I'm sorry. She's actually on your side, but we actually have a Facebook post from someone who says, hey, it's not a gateway drug if you're mature. I support legalization.
So what, I'm supposed to listen to somebody that Facebooked you that says it's not a gateway drug, as opposed to addicts that started on marijuana and ended up on heroin?
Well, what about alcohol?
Who should I listen to?
What about alcohol?
Okay, so let's follow through with your argument. What about alcohol? So what my 2 choices are, I teach my children to be stoned on booze or stoned on pot. How about stoned on nothing? What about that alternative? So your argument for legalization of pot is alcohol's legal. Do you really think that's a good argument? Think it through.
You challenged 2 Chainz to come back on your show, Nancy.
I certainly did.
I saw the picture.
I certainly did. You are a smart girl. I certainly did. He initiated it. He texted me and said, let's make this a monthly thing. So you know what? Bring it on. Bring it on, baby girl.
So is he going to come back?
I think so.
So
if he's man enough.
Did you say I was a smart girl even though you're going head-to-head with me in this debate right now?
Yeah, because you're coming up with all the arguments for me to, you know, crack wide open. But those are the typical arguments, and every time you come up with a new one, you know you're coming at me.
I'm coming at you, Nancy. We go head-to-head. Hey, and just to be clear, I think 23 states have legalized the medical use of marijuana. And she said it on here, everybody. Nancy Grace said it. She actually supports the legalization of medical marijuana. You said it here, right? Just not recreational use.
I've said it many times. I have dealt with too many cancer patients and other patients that are in deep, deep pain, especially during my years as a prosecutor. And if marijuana could ease their pain or help them with their nausea or other side effects in any way, I'm all for it. I am not for recreational use of marijuana.
Yeah, and we've done a lot of stories that support the use of medical marijuana. Nancy Grace, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank
you
you,
look
baby
gorgeous
girl.
up there. Bye, Nancy.